Hello everyone! Hulu has just released its latest murder mystery, and boy oh boy, this show is so addictive, just making you want more. We are reviewing the new murder on the dock, Death and Other Details, pilot episode titled Rare. With just 2 episodes freshly released on 16th January, it is getting an amazing reception from the critics. Now before we get to the review, let me summarise what the show's about. The leading lady Imogen Scott, played by Violet Bean, is caught as a prime suspect in a murder she hasn't committed. So to prove herself innocent, she goes to the one man she hates the most, renowned Detective Rufus Coatworth, our very own Emmy-winning actor Mandy Patinkin. Now the show isn't your average classic locked room murder mystery, but has more gruesome secrets outside the locked room. I know what you're all thinking. Why is Imogen entangled in a web of crime? Why is this Rufus guy so hated? And who was really murdered? This first episode answers all of that and much more. Hulu's Death and Other Details is a murder mystery entwined with powerful families and generations of secrets. The narrative swiftly schemes between delightful chaos and occasional confusion. While the show continues with different timelines to add the chaotic temporal distortion, it sadly settles unwell. However, the whodunit aspect ensures the audience's maintained interest. Created by Mike Weiss and Heidi Cole McAdams, the show commences 2 decades back, introducing Rufus Coatworth, a basic Santa Claus-looking nice guy, renowned as the world's greatest detective. The whole episode is about the detective, narrating the story, quoting his famous detective book, and harbouring his own motivations for solving the crime. He visits the Collier estate to discuss the suspicious death of a woman who had a 10-year-old daughter, Imogen Scott, our lead. Imogen is taken in by the Colliers after her mother's tragic demise. The story then catapults to the present, where Imogen, now 28 and beautiful, embarks on the luxurious cruise liner SS Varuna from a Mediterranean port. The cruise is filled with filthy rich families, and some people who are just pretending to be the insiders. Yes, very suspicious. So, Imogen, in her glorious late 20s, is attending a celebration aboard the SS Varuna. The occasion marks the retirement of Patriarch Lawrence and the promotion of her best friend, Anna Lawrence, to CEO of Collier Mills. Along for the ride are the matriarch of the family, Catherine, Anna's fragile wife Lelia, and her cocaine-fueled brother Trip. It's always with these seemingly functional, dysfunctional, filthy rich families partying unknowingly with the poor eat the rich murderers, a concept seen in Parasite and Saltburn. Back with the story, other notable guests on the cruise include the Governor of Washington, the wealthy Chun family, courted by Anna for $1 billion deal, and the now disgraced Rufus, employed as the Chun family security. What starts as a wealthy exotic cruise party takes a sharp turn when a guest is murdered, forcing Imogen into the role of the prime suspect. To clear her name, she forcefully teams up with Rufus. Now Imogen hates Rufus because the man was supposed to solve her mother's case, and we still have no answers after almost 20 years. Now, with the present timeline, Imogen's past keeps popping up in flashbacks, which troubles her to the date. When Imogen discovers that Rufus is also on the cruise, it takes her back 20 years when she saw him as her angel, a man she trusted with her mother's case. We see interactions between Rufus and the 10-year-old Imogen, who's incredibly smart for her age, too smart to crack a renowned detective's coded personal account. The little girl tries to solve the case with the man, as she repetitively tries to recount the incident of her mother's death she was an eyewitness to. That is sad, to see the death of your mother. Well, then the case gets complex until Rufus seemingly drops the case, leaving the crying little Imogen helpless and alone. Then the present also mirrors the same thing, a 28-year-old Imogen working with Rufus to solve the murder of a man stabbed poetically against the wall like a painting. It gets more twisted. But does Imogen play a role in this? You see that our highly impulsive lead had noticed the now murdered man earlier, misbehaving with the cruise's staff. To teach him a lesson, she sneaked into his room late at night to break his precious expensive watch. Just that. Simple, innocent, and harmless. What she didn't know was that the man would also be murdered the same night. The woman is captured entering the room by the security cameras, and that's where the trouble befalls. Another intriguing element of the show is a hinted dark past of Anna's wife Lelia. The episode shows Lelia always being too worked up, too suspicious about everything, and extremely worried, like she has something on her tail or someone. Guess that will also be revealed in the coming episodes. Well, now to the review. With intricate stylization and an overload of dizzying twists, death and other details demands attention. The complexity occasionally causes messy characters and plot points to become muddied. Yet, as Imogen and Rufus delve into the investigation, revelations from the past overlap with the present. For example, how we learn that the man murdered was working on the case of Imogen's mother. It is crazy that an uncovered case closed years ago is still haunting. Several aspects of the show excel, such as delving into the intricacies of memory and how it can be highly susceptible to manipulation. Rufus mentions how memory can never be trusted since it can be shaped and morphed with other memories in our subconscious. As the narrative shuttles between timelines, revelations about Imogen's mom and its connection to the Varuna's events unfold, which I think is the best part about the show. Talking about the drawbacks, due to the expansive cast and the evolving plot, the episode lacks clarity at some points. It struggles to maintain consistent sharpness due to multiple plotlines and time lapses. However, the dynamic duo of Patinkin and Bean adds an unhinged determination to uncover the truth. The series shines when it blends old-world glamour with modern humour. Overall, it gives a great outlook, a perfectly concocted Italian-styled mystery, so for all those who are mystery fans, this show is a detective-run case, but with sparkle, like Sherlock with glamour and glitz. It also gives HBO's White Lotus vibe, mixed with both of the Knives Out movies. This show portrays the reality of the rich elite class and how their lives are just as empty and lifeless as a dead body. Oh, the irony. I mean, the murder of the man itself looked so beautifully done, but soulless and vile, which is very symbolic of the lifestyles of all these rich families. The show is about old money, lust, and champagne, parties, arts, and much more. I would 110% recommend you all to watch this show. I will definitely be watching the other episodes as well. If you want to witness a murder mystery that doesn't get heavily dramatic on you, Death and Other Details is streaming on Hulu. That was all from my side. Goodbye.